Thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak Extra. Now it's time for the phone-in segment, and we're going to talk about Naira Scarcity / POS charges and what are you experiencing in your area. Growing frustration has been voiced by several Nigerians regarding the ongoing problems of automated teller machines, which is the ATM, running out of currency. Because festive period is approaching, so definitely we know that when something like this is approaching, there is a cash crunch everywhere. However, the POS system functions as agent banking system that offers consumers outside of the conventional banking system alternative financial services. Now, recall that earlier this year, the Nigerian Commercial Bank have increased the amount that may be taken out of their automated teller machine. Findings have shown that most banks no longer permit daily withdrawals from personal accounts exceeding 20,000. As a result, POS is now relied upon, particularly during periods of financial scarcity. Some claim that point of sale, which is the POS, agents are saving lives, while others argue that they are increasing consumer risks and eroding the relationship between banks and their clients. Now, before we get to go deeper into this conversation, which I know my co-uncle is willing to say something about it, let's take a look at this report put together by Antonia when she went out to the street of Abuja.
The current cash scarcity in Nigeria is gradually becoming intense, with citizens expressing their frustrations over their inability to easily access cash for their daily transactions. This development is gradually resulting in shortage of cash as many automated teller machines remain cashless, thereby leaving customers with no other choice but to use other means of withdrawing cash. They lament that the scarcity in cash has an effect on the economy, especially those in business sector who need it for the day-to-day running of their businesses. According to them, most persons have money in their banks but cannot have access to it.
Actually, of a big fact, it can affect the economy because many people are in need of something. Maybe they want to use money to get something, but there's a kind of limitation of it, so they cannot be able to afford what they want to get with that. Many people are in need of money, but they cannot get in touch with. And to my own little opinion, I can just give a little advice that they should help us, because though we are in need, but they should still try their best to help us.
As many turn to POS operators for cash, charges have begun to surge as demand also grows. This, many say, eats into their cash.
I use POS, and they are all increasing their charges now, which does not all go well for my pocket. When you go to the banks, they will tell you they are cash crunch, they don't have cash, and it's affecting a lot of people's business. You want to pay somebody with cash, the person will come to your office and say, please, I need cash, I don't want transfer. You now tell him that, no, go back, I will transfer money to you. It can spoil the business. It's affecting the business.
The charge rate is still there, but the challenges that we are having now is the shortage of the money from bank. Money is not in circulation, which a lot of people, somebody will come, he wants to withdraw 100,000, you don't have to. And for you to go to bank, you can't get that 100,000. So it's affecting our business. They should make the currency available.
They advise the government to clear the air in order to avoid wrong speculations in a necessary increase in the charges of point of sales operators.
The CBN should come out and make things clear to people. Are you stopping old Naira notes? Or if not, let people know. It's all these things are artificial scarcity and wrong speculation. They are not even sure. And that's why you see POS operators, they will start charging more. So, they should come out clearly and let people know what's really going on.
I think the Central Bank of Nigeria is the regulatory authority for, for commercial banks in Nigeria. I think they have to call the bank managers. They have to address them. I think that issue, because when you talk about liquidity, it enables business to be run easily. We're talking about ease of doing business. Why I understand that, this cashless policy it's a welcome development. But there are some cases, there are places where you also want to spend cash.
They want the government to take immediate measures to ensure that cash flows across the country.
Now, that was a beautiful package by Antonia put together for the purpose of this conversation. Summayya, what's your take on this? Because I can't wait to just give you a breakdown of what has happened over this particular conversation that we are having. So tell me your thoughts.
First of all, honestly, as usual, we all know the business owners are facing their own kind of, turmoil going on, and POS operators are part of, the business sector. As much as we also have our own concerns, Nigerians have our own frustration on what they do. And one of the major things for me when it comes to the POS operation is how much, the word would be not, it's just flexible. It's not the same unique payment or extra charges that we tend to give these people. This one is charging you so much more. It's like we are looking for opportunity to extort from each other. That is just the situation that is happening in our country.
Yeah.
So
because I remember when the cash crunch started, when the new Naira notes were introduced, and then it suddenly vanished, and now we're dealing with two different currencies in the same country. We have the 1,000, we have the 500, and we have 200. So it's that. And remember that time when you have to withdraw 10,000, and we had to beg people to come to the office just so we can get maybe 10,000 for 10,000 for 13,000 naira. The charges is like 3,000 for some, and then for some that wanted more, they had to pay more to get money just so we can have something to hold on to. And now
I don't
imagine
know what is going on, though. I don't know what is going on, because I think as of yesterday, we're discussing with someone, and they said that they went to withdraw, was it 20,000, and somebody was asking for 600 naira for that. And the excuse they gave was, oh no, cash is scarce. And we're like, I don't understand. If cash is scarce, why are you still doing the business? Because now you want to come and cut my head off and extort from me.
For something that I didn't do.
Exactly. So it is really ridiculous. I know there was a time where I don't know, I saw in the news, I think a month ago, that December is still going to be the last month for the old Naira notes to still be existing. I don't even know how that story
what
is.
they said, they debunked. They said that's not what they mean. They mean the dirty ones should be out of the market.
Something is wrong. As much as we are pushing for the cashless policy situation in our country, honestly, we need to know that we are not ready for. There are lots of things we're not ready for. There are lots of priorities.
Talking about promoting, cashless, so people can actually have access to make transactions with their cards, make transfers, and what have you. But then still, you are not safe, because we have seen a lot of people that were attacked and they had to take away all their monies using POS again, and so now I'm seeing a breakdown that if you want to withdraw 10,000 in some areas, they'll charge you 900 naira.
That is ridiculous.
And for some, if we want to transfer maybe or withdraw 30,000, you'll be charged in some areas probably still 900 naira. Because I remember a friend telling me yesterday that he went to withdraw 10,000 and he was charged 500. So which means 50 naira per 1,000. That's what it means.
Okay, at this point, the only thing you all need is to carry an ammunition, because this is daylight robbery. This is ridiculous.
So that's that. So a lot of places you go, it differs. Like you're also mentioning just earlier that just you went to a place where you wanted to withdraw a certain amount and you were charged, and then you moved forward and you were charged, and then you felt this one was even better than that other one, because the difference is maybe this one was 300 or 400 and you're like, and then that other one is 600 and same amount. So now that's what I was telling you, why is there not a synchronization of the amount in that same area where the POS are gathered? Because if you're increasing for 10,000, then it should be for the same amount for 10,000 on the other POS users.
Things like this is what Nigerians have been calling for the government to have a regulation, like a price control regulation, where if for this thing we already know a newspaper, so whatever brand it is, for example, it is sold at the same rate. And for this, if you're selling a phone, for as long as it's the same brand, same model, then it should be sold across. But then because there is this free market reign, people tend to get so greedy. Truly, Nigerians are greedy sometimes. And it always breaks my heart that it is when we are hit the hardest, when people are trying to survive. That's when we each other want to get an opportunity to extort. If I tell you the level of extortion I have faced for the past 2 weeks in every aspect of life, you would be surprised. People are always looking for opportunity to just get something from you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine using any of the riders to just go to a certain place, and then they call you and say you have to add something. This amount is to. Why are you asking me to add when what is showing me on the map is what I'm giving you? So am I the cost of the issue happening in Nigeria? Now that's a lot of people now. Same complaints is what people are also saying, because in every aspect, because of fuel, because of the fuel subsidy removal, because of the inflation in every aspect of the life that we are living, things are now getting higher. And like I said, this is festive period. Summayya, we are just in November. In December, imagine how much transportation is going to be.
It really breaks
through
my
certain
heart.
places.
But before that, let's quickly call on. I don't think we've had a call yet, and I think we forgot to queue in to say you can call. Please go ahead and call. You can call in to join this conversation. The numbers are displayed on your TV screen. Make sure that you call in and stay away from your device in order so that we can hear you, or turn down the volume. And please, if you're sending WhatsApp message, send via the first number that is displayed on your screen. Include your name and where you're sending the message from. Please, I want us to make sure the phone is on at the network, perhaps if we have a bit of network issue, because this is the longest that we've gotten without a call yet from people. We all know how, of course, we tend to have our callers calling in to share their take on whatever is happening. So please go ahead, call us. Let's hear your take on what is going on. Now, I noticed that some network providers have been having issues from yesterday, but hopefully it does not interrupt.
There's an actually bad issue with network. Like, you try to make calls, it just goes quiet for a longest of time. You keep dialing and dialing and dialing, and it doesn't still connect. So I'm
yesterday
sure
for me, something even happened. I ran out of data, so I was trying to get money from my bank to recharge my phone, but it did not connect to the network provider I'm using for 2 different banks. And I got a message from one of the banks saying currently my network provider is having issues, so I have to wait.
So definitely, and the network we're talking about, even phone network now. A lot of people have not been able to buy airtime. So just in case you're not able to have airtime on your phone to call and you really want to join, just send us WhatsApp message on the first number that is showing on the screen.
And we'll read out and have an amazing conversation about it. But then, yes, honestly, I am truly frustrated when it comes to, the POS, the scarcity. And it is because we still do not have enough ATMs, when it comes to banking banks. You even go to some banks and then clearly there is no money in that ATM to dispense, and then you go to the POS and you're being charged a really crazy amount. Now, what I don't even understand is how is that policy of the cashless now favoring Nigerians? Because now the major institutions, banks that I'm trusting to keep my money, are not dispensing cash for me. So, but then these POS people literally go to the bank. And then I believe that's how they are charging that horrendous prices.
So if you listen to the other man that spoke on that report, he said you go to the bank, you see people coming to deposit cash, and yet the bank will still tell you no cash. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah, so it's something done on purpose.
I won't say that because the banks are not here to defend themselves when it comes to that. But the point is, if people are seeing that people are coming to deposit cash, why are you not giving people the cash that they need? Because at the end of the day, it still come back to your bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand? So why the cash crunch every time when there's the time that people actually are in need? Possibly their POS, the ATMs are not working, their bank apps are not working for them to make transactions. Imagine you go to the hospital and you need to deposit money for your loved one to be cured or to be treated. You have to, and then the bank charges is high, the POS is high, and then you are left struggling from one place to the other.
I don't know. It's all alleged for now, but I just have this feeling of, like a corruption line being passed. Because these POS people will tell you sometimes that when they go to the bank, they have to pay extra. And hence the rise of the extra fees to get, because someone that normally would charge you 100 Naira for 10,000, all of a sudden it's charging you 200 to 300. And when you ask, you tell, oh,
I remember
sometimes I go
making
to
a
the bank and I have to
transaction.
also pay.
Yeah, I remember making a transaction of withdrawing 30,000, for example, to send, and I was charged 3,000 naira.
Okay,
So
is
it depends.
daylight
Yeah,
robbery,
because
though.
some will tell you, well, if you're going to the bank, you have to spend that amount to go to the bank. So why not? So it's as good as you're giving them the transport you would have used to go to the bank to make that transaction.
No,
so they're
I'll
trying
go to
to
the
gain
bank.
that. So that's what's happening with a lot of POS, because I've seen a lot having this fight. You know, I mean, we know that we have POS close, a lot of them, because it's a market space. But then the main point here is, if banks are charging high and the POS are charging high, so where should people go to rely? Who should they rely on? Because the POS is supposed to make it easy for people, and that way you can also gain, because the more the people come, the more you gain from the transactions you tend to make. But if you charge higher, you're going to lose people. They'll go to other places that they won't be charged high.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just it. So what happens if the charges in your area is high? How is that affecting you? What are you experiencing? Are you able to even withdraw, you know, with the situation that we're just talking about, maybe the network and what have you? So do call us. If you can't, just send us WhatsApp messages, like we said, so you can join this conversation. So it's a sad experience, and I'm still, you know, budging on the issue of, we're just in November, December is approaching, New Year is approaching. A lot of people would need cash for weddings, for you know, celebrations of one thing or the other that people are trying to put together and the rest. So what should people do at this point?
Honestly, that is the question. What should people do? A lot is happening. Every aspect of life is just becoming so difficult for an average Nigerian, and it breaks my heart that you know, our people have to face this. But it also breaks my heart 10 times more knowing that our own people are inflicting pain, you know, on each other because of selfish reasons. So as much as we know the government have its own, you know, responsibility, we know that the banks also need to be held accountable. Honestly, I wish we could have, you know, like our own, the KKRA of banking sector, because a lot is happening.
But at the end of the day, you know, as it's a court that can still make decisions and still, you know, give verdict on what should hold these people accountable. So it's still part of what she can actually do. Yeah. So yeah.
But I think if definitely a petition, you know, especially for bank, it should start from CBN. You know, overseeing. This is a complaint that people make all the time. That there are things that are clearly corruption. Nobody, just because they're running ATM or POS rather, have to go to the bank and pay for something before they'll get cash. It should not be so.
Just see what I'm seeing here, that withdrawals from 11,000 to 14,000 will attract service charge of 600 naira, just like you said earlier. And then, you know, from 14,000, 17,000 will attract the charges of 700 and above. Then for 18,000, probably you have to spend, you know, 800 and above also, just like we said earlier. So that's a lot for some people, because that amount, just that little charge can actually buy food, a plate of food for some people in some vendors' places. So a lot of people are actually crying because of the charges and how high it is at this point. So it's something that we need to really look into. The people should actually take a look at what is happening. Did I hear like we had a call or something?
No, we don't. Not yet. I honestly think it's the network provider, and it breaks my heart because we already know how
a lot of
Nigerians
people would definitely would have called to say, oh, in my area they're charging this amount. What is the CBN government doing, and what is the, you know, government also doing to see that they fix this? Because, like I said, festive period is approaching, so a lot of people would have wanted to say
and
something
this is the most scary part. We're still in November, and yet prices like this have gotten outrageous. Asking for almost 1,000 naira for, you know, just withdrawing a certain amount of cash, which is not even up to 100,000 naira. So imagine what now happened in December. It is really frustrating.
To me, in December, the transportations, because people will travel for festivities. Christmas is coming, like I said, New Year is coming. Now, a lot of people are paying transportation from Abuja to Kaduna, almost 7,000 to 8,000, if I'm not mistaken. Similar amount from Abuja to Kogi, and then probably from here to just like 10,000 naira, roughly, right? So imagine during the festive period, Kaduna to Abuja maybe almost 15,000 naira, maybe double the price. If there's going to be a cut, then they're going to have to puts a lot of people in that car just to meet up with whatever it is that they are looking for.
Let's not forget poultry. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about.
Exactly, people are going to buy.
Already, there's a prediction currently.
Eggs.
Currently, chickens, hens are being sold for 9,000 to 10,000 naira.
13,000 upward also. It depends on the breed that you are actually buying.
Oh my God, now we're going on breeds. Okay, so and and the prediction is that by December it would be 15,000 per chicken. I'm like, well, it was just the beginning of this year that I was buying chicken for 3,000 something. It is ridiculous how difficult life has been, and I've literally had a one-on-one with people saying they are going that it's not a must to eat chicken this December. So people are already cutting off a lot of expenses, and then now there is now extra additional burden on people, and the whole cash policy thing is cash being and at the end of the day, as much as we want to blame POS operators, it has to come back to the banks, Fatima, because the POS have developed this power because the bank are not fulfilling at least daily demands of Nigerians.
Allegedly, they said
amount of cash.
Allegedly, they said some of the banks actually own some of this POS also, which we are not sure, but people are saying that some of the banks actually own these POS vendors that are actually situated in some areas where they are.
I don't think legally, I don't think that would have been a problem, because the aim of it is that when you know that normally you go to ATM, there is long queues, and then you're trying to give extra, reach to your customers and all of that. So it's okay to have it, but then if you're having it, why should you charge so crazily? Now, this is something that always, if at all it is happening, then there should be some kind of a deep investigation to be done. Because honestly, if we are planning on eradicating corruption out of the country, then it starts with every system. It is alarming, the fact that every system seems to have corruption. It is alarming in our country, and it keeps growing. This what is happening is corruption at its highest peak, and it is done in a broad daylight. It is done where we already know this is wrong, but it's like, so what are you going to do about it, kind of thing, because they know that, just like we said, I think a long time ago, that Nigerians don't have the zeal, the perseverance to say, I'm taking it up on myself to pursue this cause and make sure I do this for my country to change something.
And that's why we see people like Very Dark Man now coming out to do similar. Just like you're saying, when someone starts, you're definitely going to have people that will back you up, because there are a lot of people that want to like you're doing it, but maybe they do not have the means, and probably they are scared. But when you see someone doing it and he's doing it fearlessly, the next thing, the best you can do is just to support,
give your own
then
support.
so lend your voice, fight for the same cause and what have you. So, but then, like you said, the zeal is not there. The insistency is not there. That okay, I'm insisting I must do this and all that. So definitely that is an issue. And then unfortunately, because it's unfortunate that we just have the first caller, and we've been talking for so many minutes. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
Okay, my name is Fidelis. I'm calling from Makodi.
Oh, Fidelis, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead. What's your take?
The issue of the POS transaction is becoming so hot now to some of us, because I personally have experience last week that I went to withdraw 10,000 naira from my POS, and they were charging me 400 naira for 10,000 naira. So I was asking myself, why should you be charging me 400 naira for 10,000 naira? Because normally I thought 10,000 is 200, while 5,000 is 100 naira. But everything has changed now. I went to Lagos again, and I was to withdraw money, 50,000 naira, and they were charging me 2,000 naira. So it is becoming something else. I don't understand what is happening now. If you go to bank to withdraw money, you will not have money, you will not see money in the bank to withdraw. So to my own observation, I have come to understand that bank are doing business with POS now. The money that they should be serving people in the bank, they distribute to, you know that most of the POS are owned by bankers. So they distribute those monies to bankers, to their POS, and they leave banks empty without money. So this is becoming so serious.
Indeed.
We can't continue like this. We can't.
Thank
we
you
can't
so
be
much.
in our country and we're still buying money. It's so terrible. So I think the necessary authority need to take action on this.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fidelis, for that. Truly, it can be really frustrating. But if at all, you know, people tend to say that if something is being echoed, you know, if something becomes an echo chamber, then you have to start making research about it. So if a lot of people, now I get that Fatih is at some point here is feeling a level of frustration, but then you're laughing about it. It's like literally looking at your problem and laughing over it. But it breaks my heart what is going on, honestly, when we talk about Nigerians extorting money from each other. Now, he made mention, I was quite surprised about the echo that he did on what Fatima said before. She said that she's heard that bankers, you know, some bankers are the owners of the ATM, you have the POS rather. And then this previous caller made mention of the same thing. And I hope that, you know, if at all something is going on, then it's up to us to make research about it. The media would do its part, but then necessary bodies also should also do their part in terms of all of this. But then yes, this is the much that we can take. Like I said, network the provider has been really bad, but we're glad at least we get to connect with a person. And yeah, we hope that you know, something it's really bad about something is really done, rather, I beg your pardon, about this situation. Hence the reason why we always put out issues that needs to be addressed, to analyze them, and hopefully a necessary body will take up on this. So calling on the, you know, the CBN to monitor these banks, judicial system to do more, individuals to gather evidence to help the media in making sure that we take this and also pursue this cause, because our country just have to be great. This is the much that we can take. Of course, we'll take a break, and when we come back, the show continue. Stay with us.